Hey, thanks for joining. I'm your host, Chris Gennaro. Today we have Julian Gage from Heriot. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. It's doing the European bands. It's always fun because it's like the middle of the day for us and probably like super late for you guys. But I'm happy to have you on the show. I was just checking out your upcoming or the tracks that you've released for your upcoming EP. I guess we'll start off with that and just talk about. I think the EP's coming out on Church Road Records. I think it's the first one you're doing with them. So I guess talk about how you got involved with that label and about the new recording.
Yeah, cool. So we put out a few singles before kind of committing to the EP. We didn't want to commit to anything too early. We kind of wanted to build an audience before we committed to a record. So we put out, I think it was two standalone singles, just by ourselves, and then they got in touch after the second one, about a week after it came out, and we kind of went back and forth for a few months about working together. They seemed like the best option at the time. Yeah, so we went with it, and we're really happy. Yeah, I think we've been working with each other for about a year now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's been really good.
the EPs and stuff, did they have a physical release at all?
So all the singles didn't. This record is the first to have a physical release,
Okay.
which is like a cassette, vinyl, CD. I think that's it.
Okay, all the formats. I guess for a band that doesn't have a full length out yet, you have 4 videos. So like that's pretty impressive already. I know you mentioned that the guy George Lever is like
Yeah,
practically a
yeah,
member of the
he's
band.
yeah. So George is the one who mixed and masters our stuff. He's done quite a lot of some of the bigger bands he's done is like Sleep Token and Loathe, and stuff like that. But in terms of the videos, yeah, we have a guy called Harry Steele.
Harry Steele. I messed up my
Yeah,
notes there, but yeah.
no, that's cool, man. No worries. Yeah, he's kind of basically like the fifth member. We've known him for years and years, and we work really well together. So it's nice to just work with someone that you're comfortable with, who's also very, very good at what he does. And yeah, we've done a video for every track so far that we've released. Has had a video. It was kind of we kind of pride ourselves on the visual stuff and want to be as visual as possible. Like I think it's just more attractive to look at on social media and stuff like that. I think you kind of catch people's eyes a lot better. So yeah, yeah, all the videos are really cool. I think we're gonna keep working together as well, whatever comes next after this record as well.
Okay, so do they give you a video budget, or is just because like maybe you're friends with him, like you got the friend deal or something like that, or
Yeah, I mean, he works with a lot of other bands. I mean, does give us mates rates, but yeah, we pay for that all independently. So it's nice. Yeah, it's nice and affordable for us.
I saw another interview with you. I want to say it was like on Montreal Rocks or something. I'll post the link to that in the description if you want to check out more. If I don't ask the questions, but it seemed like all your artwork is done by Jake, your vocalist, and he pulls the stuff from like the video elements and things. I think, is that correct?
Yeah, I think most of them are stills from videos or things that were kind of shot at the same time as the videos. The cover for the record was just done in a in a really blank space studio in Bristol. It was Jake and Harry, and they kind of just put a chainmail on and threw a sword around, and then edited it, and it looks how it looks. Yeah, everything we do is quite budget, but I think we managed to pull it off.
No, that's cool. I mean, there's nothing worse than like low budget art of like poorly drawn demons and skeletons and stuff. I mean, and I don't have anything against demons and skeletons, but I
Yeah,
think
I mean it can look bad, I guess. Like I don't think we'd put anything out that purposely looks bad. I mean, if it looks bad, it definitely wouldn't get used. So yeah, we're all pretty happy with it.
yeah,
But yeah,
plenty of bands do it though. But no, I think that the video stills thing looks, it has a really cool look to it. I like that stuff.
yeah, cool. Thank you, man.
Um, saw on Facebook that you either played or were going to play with Napalm Death.
Yeah, that was where are we now? That was a few weeks ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. In
Okay.
Torquay, like a seaside town. It's kind of a weird place for them to play, I think. but yeah, it was insane. Like they've been around for a long time. So yeah, it was nuts to be able to support them, and they were like really nice guys as well.
Any other funny stories from that show? I mean, I mean, I'm sure it was just insane.
Yeah, it was just surreal. Like we've been lucky enough to play some kind of bigger shows recently, but I think that was the most well sold. I think we were sub in underneath them, so we weren't like on first or anything like that, which we usually are. So yeah, I think we probably played to like not far off 1,000 people that night, which is a lot for a little band like us. Yeah, I think so. Their vocalist is from Birmingham, and I think he grew up like around the corner from where Debbie grew up. So they were
Okay.
kind of speaking together for hours and hours. So that was kind of weird. But yeah, they're really nice guys. Be cool to play with them again at some point if we can. It'd be cool.
Okay. I guess that's a good segue into Debbie. She's your guitarist. She also does vocals for you some points, right?
Yeah, it's kind of 50-50 split.
And then I noticed that while she's definitely got like a grindcore vocal style, there are other female like clean singing parts and at least one of your songs. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah, we've been trying to, I guess, not intentionally incorporate more of that, but I think on the EP there's more of that than we have done before. I think Profound Morality, the title track, is probably the most clean vocals we've ever had on a track, and pretty much most of that. I think all of Deb's vocals on that track are clean.
And then I know she's not an original member, but in looking through your back catalog, you know, I believe that you guys, I mean, I'll probably let you tell the story, but I mean, it seems like you're kind of assuming that when she joined seems like where you want to start the beginning of your band, because there doesn't seem to be any reference to anything that happened before she joined.
Yeah, we tried to get rid of all that the best we could. I'm sure if you look very closely, you can find some. I'm sure there's something still on there somewhere. Maybe in the depths of YouTube, I think there might be some stuff. But yeah, when I think she joined in June 2019, and we started writing new stuff then. And we were kind of getting ready for it to come out, and then COVID happened, so we didn't put it out then. But it kind of gave us more time to work on some more stuff. But yeah, we relaunched officially with new music in 2020, the end of 2020 sometime. Yeah, and it's a complete fresh start from there.
Okay, I was not able to find, so I guess you did your job well. I did not find any of the older stuff.
That's good. That's good. I mean, it's not bad. It's just different.
Yeah. Well, what is, just curious, maybe I'll go back, and if you think that I can find it, I'll go back and do a better job of hunting it down. What or not, you know, if you would prefer. But what was the major difference between the older stuff and the newer stuff?
So we put out I think one 4-track EP before, and it was kind of doomier kind of stuff. It was all kind of in standard tuning as well, so it's not as low as we are now. I mean, I'm sure there's elements of it that kind of sound similar, because I mean, with the lineup's only really Deb that's the addition, but yeah, it is a completely different sound. I think if you heard both versions of the band side by side, I don't think you'd say it was the same band. Hopefully, anyway. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have worked to use any of that material. I think there were some cool riffs in there, but yeah, I don't think we'll ever go back and take anything from those songs. So yeah, we kind of have that November 2020 as our fresh start.
You mentioned being doomier. You guys have a lot of sludge stuff, and you talked about tuning. Definitely on that Machine Head cover you do. I like, you listen to that and I'm like, that's some way down tuned guitars. Do you know? Yeah. I mean, I know you're the drummer. Do you know what they're tuning to?
Yeah, we play in drop A. Everything's in A. I don't think there's anything weird going on or fancy, but yeah, I'm pretty sure everything's just in A.
I was hoping Deb was going to come on. I was going to talk a little bit about Dead Hands. I'm assuming.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. I'm assuming that's how you met her from playing with them.
Yes. I think we met. I don't know, probably 2017, something like that. We played some weekenders together, and pretty much from that point onwards, we only played with Dead Hands at the time, like, because we just got such good friends with those guys.
Okay.
We didn't really take the band too seriously back then either, to be fair. We didn't do a lot. It was just kind of fun little 3-day shows here and there, but it was always with those guys. So like when they broke up, it was kind of like a natural question to ask if she wanted to join. She kind of said to some of us, did we want to start a side project? We were like, well, we were thinking of expanding Heriot anyway, because we kind of wanted that second guitar because we can do a lot more with it. And it came really naturally. And then her doing vocals as well kind of came by accident. We were just in the studio and she was like, oh, do you want me to have a go? We were like, yeah, go for it. And we were like blown away with how good she was. So yeah, it's all kind of been a weird coincidence, and it's all kind of worked out really well so far. Anyway, fingers crossed it stays that way.
Did she sing for Dead Hands? Because I know that when I was listening to Dead Hands, it's definitely like metal, but it's got a very punk vocal style to it. Like, and I could see where a lot of metalheads would be like, that's kind of a punk. I mean, I think punk inspired so much metal that there's shouldn't be really a distinction there. But
yeah, I'm trying to think. I think she did like maybe a verse or a chorus here and there live, maybe, but I'm not sure if they ever actually recorded that track.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew she definitely tried it out in Dead Hands, but I think she wasn't really a vocalist as she is now. I think she's definitely a metal vocalist now. I think at the time it was just kind of backing vocals, but yeah, she's definitely kind of, it's a 50-50 in Heriot, kind of between Jake and Deb's vocals.
What made you want to do the Machine Head cover?
Yeah, so that, like, it was actually supposed to be on a compilation that was going to come out through Church Road Records. I'm sure it still will at some point. But yeah, we were kind of really excited about it, so we got on it straight away. We chose that track, and I think like we were like, oh, we finished it. We sent it to the label, and they were like, oh, cool. We've put that on the back burner for now. So we were like, oh, that's a shame. So we sat on it for a few months, probably like 4 or 5 months, and then we kind of just asked them nicely, oh, can we put it out anyway, just to kind of bridge the gap between the singles and the EP? And they said yes. And it was pretty like well received, I think. Machine Head heard it. Rob Flynn had actually shared it on his Instagram and stuff. So I mean, it reached all the right people. I mean, we got a few nasty comments, but you're always going to get some of that on the internet. So, but yeah, it was really cool. It was mainly Jake's decision to do that. He's a big fan.
You guys do have a mix mash of a couple different styles. I see there's even little bits of black metal in there, a lot of sludge, a lot of grindcore. Are there different members that are sort of more pushing it in one way or the other? Or are you all sort of fans of all those genres?
We all quite like different music. We all like heavy music, obviously, but there's only really a handful of bands that we all like. Kind of Jake's kind of really into this kind of thrash, like Slayer, kind of older kind of metal, early noughties metalcore as well. I don't really listen to a lot of metal outside of the band anymore, in all honesty, but I do kind of like the new metal bands from the 90s. I'm kind of into the rubbish stuff of metal, like Limp Bizkit and the Korn.
The rubbish stuff.
and stuff like that, the stuff that people kind of don't like too much. So I think it kind of works that when we're all together, everyone's kind of mishmash of influences. I mean, we don't kind of sit down and go, oh, we're going to write a song that sounds like this. It just happens nice and easily, thankfully.
I've done a bunch of things on the term new metal, because I think you're right. I think people just use that as synonymous with rubbish. But I like, there are, but then they'll name 3 bands that are rubbish and then 2 that are like super awesome, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not right. That you're, like,
yeah. There's a lot of bands that were very rubbish. I think the stuff kind of came that in the later half of new metal before it died out, kind of the 2004 kind of stuff. Like, I think bands like Power Man 5000 and stuff like are terrible. But I think, like the ones who kind of pioneered it, like Korn and Limp Bizkit and that, like, I think they're cool to dislike, but they were the kind of the bands I grew up listening to, so I'm always gonna have a soft spot for them.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes I see like there's like older metalheads will, or I can tell when people got into metal because they'll have a soft spot for bands that I can't stand. And it'll be because they, you know, that was their sort of intro or gateway, where maybe because I'm old as dirt, I had already been into that stuff, you know. So when they came around, I had to be like, oh. I haven't known about Pupil Slicer. Are you friends with them or have toured with them, done shows?
Yeah, we just did a tour in February with Rolo Tomasi and Pupil Slicer opening. We opened for Pupil Slicer and Rolo Tomasi on that. I think we'd met before briefly, but it was kind of the first time we've actually hung out properly. But yeah, they're wicked and they're doing very, very, very well, and they deserve to do very well. They're good, very good band.
So are there opportunities at the shows? Like, I mean, how many times have you played with them?
So the tour was 9 days. We shared a
9
dressing room
dates?
with them. Yes, we had a dressing room with them pretty much every night. So yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
hung out a lot.
Okay, so that then you really get like I've played with bands where I never even got to say hi, you know, but
Yeah.
it's cool that you shared a dressing room with them.
Yeah, we're playing with them again at the end of the month twice. We're playing in Manchester and London, the weekend that the record comes out. So yeah, we'll get to see them again. But yeah, they were really nice dudes, and they're wicked as well. I think they're nominated for the same award we are at the Heavy Music Awards this year. So a bit of friendly rivalry there. But I mean, they're way ahead of us. I mean, they've had an album out and stuff, and signed to Prosthetic. So yeah, they're killing it.
Any plans to come stateside?
I mean, we'd love to. I think it's on everyone's bucket list, especially Airhands, who really wants to tour the States. I mean, it's been mentioned, but probably not this year. Hopefully next year. But I mean, I think we have an agent over in America now, so it's bound to happen. But it's just the right tour that's going to be good for us, I think. But yeah, we'd love to.
What is the agent in America like do for you? What is that like? How does that work?
So we're working with Ian from TKO in the UK, and he represents us in the UK and Europe. And then I think the guy is called Dan, who represents us in the States. He works for the same like umbrella. We haven't really had a lot to say to him because we don't really have any immediate plans to be there. But yeah, I'm hoping we will. I know he's keen to get us over, but yeah, it's just finding the right time and the right band that's gonna take us over there. We wouldn't want to go over there and make a big loss and play to zero people. So yeah, it needs to be kind of financially viable. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get there. I mean, it'd be insane.
Yeah, metal in general is rough to be financially viable.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's good to get, you know, if you get to start when you're young and you don't need the money, that's probably the way to do it, you know.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of interest, like more than we knew in America, which is cool. I'm not sure how we're kind of reaching there at the moment, because I mean we're still quite a small band, but it's really cool to see.
The internet is global, obviously, and I don't know how I got turned on to you guys, but definitely easy enough to go check you guys out on Bandcamp. I mean, all your stuff's there, and it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think we've been quite lucky with some of the press, like Revolver and Knotfest have been really supportive. I think we've kind of tuned into some Knotfest streams and stuff like that, and a lot of people on there have been talking about us, which has kind of just opened our eyes to an audience we didn't really know we had, which was sick.
Yeah, I think you had something in Kerrang lately.
Yeah, it's the first like print issue they've done in a long time. So yeah, we're really happy to get in that. I think it's like a big bucket list thing. I mean, I went to get Kerrang every Wednesday when I was a kid, so it's wicked to actually go and grab a copy that I'm in. That was pretty cool.
I had no idea they were still publishing. And you know, I just made a mention of how disgustingly old I am, and you know, I remember that magazine from when I was a kid. So definitely they've been around for ages and ages.
Yeah, I think the COVID kind of stopped the print thing for a while. They did a one-off thing towards the end of last year when live music came back. I don't know if it's going to be more frequent now, but yeah, just to actually have a physical copy of the magazine that I read when I was 14 with my face in it is pretty mad. Pretty happy with that.
Do you have anything written for the next? I assume the plan is to do an album.
Yeah, kinda. We've got ideas. It's finding the time now that's difficult for us because obviously we're trying to focus on pushing the EP and going out and doing festivals and stuff this summer. But obviously it's a big weight on our shoulders that we need to write an album and we need to do it quickly. I think after festival season we're gonna kind of probably do something similar to what we did with the EP, kind of book a place for a week and just try and write as much as we can, because the record that's coming out in April we wrote in about 5 days and then recorded it over a few months after that. So I'm hoping we can do the same kind of thing, but it is just finding time. But yeah, there's a few demos floating around that are cool. I think we'll definitely have some new stuff out before the end of the year, hopefully a single.
Oh geez, yeah, okay, it's April already. Do you guys not have a rehearsal studio?
So kind of as of very recently, yes. Because Jake, our vocalist, he records everything we do as well. He's just moving to a space in Bristol, but we usually just have to hire somewhere per hour, which is obviously quite costly when you want to spend a whole week there for 24 hours. But yeah, it has to be done. But yeah, we should have somewhere that's a lot easier to access now. So
I assume you're going to keep doing the videos for as long as you can.
Yeah, we're going to keep working for Harry as well. I think we work so well together, and no one's kind of told us that we need to change and do anything otherwise so far. So we're going to keep sticking to the formula. And it's just good fun. I mean, he's done a lot of cool stuff as well since working with us. He's gone on to do some bigger projects. I think he's now completely self-employed doing it.
What's he done? Just let's drop some names.
So I don't know if you know Silosis. He did a video for those guys. I think the singer of Silosis is in Architects as well, so that was kind of a big thing for him. He's done a lot of work for Unified, the record label, the Australian label.
Okay, I think I've heard of them. Yeah,
bands off the top of my head, but yeah, I think he's in the studio now with a band called The Hunter, who are like a UK band that are pretty big, just kind of doing a documentary of them recording their album. So yeah, he's doing a lot of different stuff. But yeah, he comes out with us for all our gigs as well, and we just pay him in beers.
That's the way to do it. I guess let's just close out maybe by just talking about the scene from where you guys are, and if there's any other bands or anything in particular about like coming out of COVID and what's going on there now.
Yeah, cool. I mean, so the Packer, me, and Erhan are all from a little town called Swindon. And it's always very cliche to say that your music scene in your hometown isn't very good, but it's actually got really good in recent years. There's quite a lot of new bands coming out, especially one called Tyrants. I think they've made quite a few waves online recently, and I think they're going to do really well from here. But I think the UK scene in general is so good at the moment and so diverse. You've got like Ithaca and Static Dress that are coming out. I don't know how much if you've heard of any of those bands, but Pupil Slicer, kind of another band that are coming out from the UK. There's a lot of heavy bands that are all coming out that are all different, which is cool. I think like when I was younger, I remember hearing new bands and thought they all kind of sounded the same, but I don't hear that now, which is cool. I think like we kind of stand out on our own a little bit as well. So yeah, I can't wait to see like what all these bands are doing this time next year, because we're all kind of coming up together. It feels quite nice. Everyone's really nice as well. We've met so many people, kind of our peers now, that are just really nice people. So yeah, I think like even bands like Hold and Absence, I think they're out in the States at the moment, which is wicked. Like, so yeah, hopefully we can get out there next year.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all that stuff, I'll watch the video back. I'll drop all those names and Bandcamp links in the description so we can check out some new music.
Yeah, so
Definitely looking forward to having you guys come stateside. I'm in New Jersey, obviously, or might or might not
sweet.
know that, but yeah, no, we got
Yeah,
a
I
lot
think
of
Airhand's family are from New Jersey. So
nice.
he's keen to come over. Yeah, he's been over a few times, I think. So yeah, that's like the top of his bucket list is the tour the States. So fingers crossed we get to do it.
Yeah, no, find a good band that can headline a tour, or headline your own tour if you get big enough quick enough.
Yeah, I mean that's the dream. But yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think we'd have to find like a kind of big band that's willing to take a little band like us out.
You got to pay your dues, you know.
We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Okay, man. Julian, thanks for joining. I know the time difference is like weird with all, a lot of the European bands, but I'm always happy to come on a little bit earlier for a band I like. So
Yeah,
I
no, that's
really
cool,
appreciate
man.
you coming on. Coming on.
Yeah, nice one. Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Cheers.